us to pay attention because Rob mentioned that the other day, the other chat, last chat, 81. 81, if you slash the zero, is the first day of October, the beginning of the the new year, the 2026. Correct me if I'm wrong, because please, Rob, because October is not the 10th month, it's the 8th. So Trump is always giving us much more, as Mike said. There's a lot in this bone for us to chew and to eat from and to feed ourselves and understand the plan, that we are the plan. And that's why I want to show everyone that is watching us that Brazil already, and this guy's here. Rob, you were not here when I presented that, but I came up with this drawing. God gave me the inspiration and I provided. If there's any royal house that I am waiting for, is the royal house of we the people. We mentioned that the other day, and now I drink from this cup.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. I knew you would like it.
And that
Juan
is,
just texted me and said 5 minutes. So he's getting to a spot where he's got good connection. Go ahead, Rob.
yeah, if you don't mind, Craig, I want to share one other video that goes along with what Dylan, was talking about here. And this is to put things in context. When we're talking about evil, we're talking about blowing up the, Georgia Guidestones, and it had in 20 languages how they wanted to get the population down to 500 million. And to not understand the level of demonic evil that we're dealing with, people that want to get rid of 1 billion people, there is no red line they won't cross. At the end of the day, there's no respect for life. These people are carnivores, they're demonic, they don't have any belief in a God, or they have a zealous hatred towards the Creator. We are cattle or too many ants at their picnic, and they won't think twice about killing us any more than they would stepping on ants. And let me give you just another piece of evidence that shows it goes along with what Dylan just showed. But, I'm going to show you this video in a minute, but when I looked at it and I put 2 and 2 together to understand the kind of war that we're at right now, new evidence of heinous crimes against humanity is being proved by a report that sane people were not supposed to see. What they saw was a report from the Ford Medical Institute on vaccines and the godly, deadly, demonic, destructive impact that these people knew it was having on children. And everything, I want to play the video, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. So let me see if I can roll this up here. Here we go.
Impact of childhood vaccination on short and long-term chronic health outcomes in children, a birth cohort study. I've never seen this study before.
18,468 subjects.
Henry Ford, like other institutions, has a bias towards the goodness of vaccines. If the results came back demonstrating that the battery of vaccines was associated with chronic diseases, such a result would be particularly convincing. This could be essentially one of the most valuable studies in the field.
The vaccinated subjects were over 4 times more likely to have an asthma diagnosis.
600% more acute and chronic ear infections.
4.47 times the amount of speech disorders in the vaccinated compared to the unvaccinated.
5.5 times risk.
616% increase. Learning issues, developmental delays, speech delays, language delays.
Amongst the unvaccinated group, there were zero
There was 0 brain dysfunction, 0 diabetes, 0 behavioral problems, 0 learning disabilities, 0 intellectual disabilities, 0 tics, and 0 other psychological disabilities. None.
It's a big difference.
It's very important that the study sees the light of day.
This is devastating.
This paper should have been rushed to publication on an emergency basis.
We are systematically making kids sick, and not just a little bit sick, very sick.
This may be the most important study that has ever been done, and it needs to be published.
He knows if he puts his name on this, his career is over.
I mean, obviously, like, really emotional.
Zervo's probably going to lose his job over this.
This is an inconvenient study for the entire vaccine agenda.
Now, what kind of people that care nothing about science, only about money, and don't mind destroying the lives of families and children their entire lives, having that kind of information and not giving two damns about stopping, sharing the information, saving children, ruining their lives, from a health standpoint, from a scholastic standpoint, from a financial standpoint, the chaos that's brought into these families because these freaks want to sell medicine and pump poisons in the body of innocent children. When you put these things together and this truth comes out, now you start looking at things like Executive Order 13818. You start looking at crimes against humanity. You start looking at things that people, a warring faction that is external to the Constitution of the United States, that are not sovereign citizens, are here hijacking our country, hijacking our treasury through their fake monetary system that's run by the Federal Reserve, running these pharmakia witch doctors, targeting and killing our kids, having young kids today have to have 80 vaccines instead of 4, all for the love of money? How do you get rid of a demonic evil like that unless you use the military? We're going to put them in timeout? We're going to go through their court system to get rid of their pharmakia specialist? Zero chance in hell we're going to extricate these demonic hijackers that are here to divide, devour, deceive, and destroy each and every one of us just as calmly as they'd chew a piece of bubble gum. They don't give two damns about us. There is no other way to get rid of an enemy that cares not a whit about our lives than through the greatest minds that ever lived that have a God-centered focus in a military operation. You're not going to vote them out. They own the voting system. You're just not going to get rid of this demonic evil unless you have the greatest military capacity on earth. And for the average person that can't understand that, I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's a good versus evil war that we're in, and evil exists in this world at a scale you've never allowed yourself to believe.